Yo, what's happening? It's your boy popped up back with another video. Like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure you go to ubuntuapparel.com. All the information in the description of this video. And if you went, I just want to say thank you. And double salute to all my monthly subscribers. Thank y'all so much. Now, as you see, the world is in turmoil. Feel me? A lot of stuff I've been talking about for years, okay, has came to pass. And this is a scary time. People are going to jail in Europe for talking about religion. How can you go to jail for talking about religion? Well, let's talk about religion for a second, right? First of all, Christianity was forced upon the people. If you do your research, you go back to Rome, all other religions was abolished except for Christianity. And there's a reason for that. Now, let's go to the psychology side. From a psychology standpoint, if you believe in something that has no evidence it ever existed to the point you worship it, to the point you implement it in your daily life, without no evidence that it ever existed in the psychology world, that means you have a mental illness. You are mentally impaired. Okay? And I'm going to do a whole nother video about that subject, about being mentally impaired. And it's going to show you just how they teach you to turn your reality inside out to the point you're in a psychosis. What is a psychosis? A psychosis is where your feelings, emotions are so impaired to the point you lose touch of what's real and what's fake. So in other words, you lose touch of reality. You can teach a person to be dumb if you surround them around things that complements the shit you're teaching them, which makes their reality even more believable. Now, if you can comprehend what I just said, basically, you could teach a person to think they're smart, but they're actually dumb as a motherfucker. And that is one of the main reasons why they're not afraid of us, because everything we know comes from them. So basically, when a person gets ahead of your thinking and is in the position to control what you know and what you don't know, you're locked in box. You're done. Your enemy should never be in position to teach you anything. It doesn't make sense, right? Because as you see, we've all been fooled, right? And I would say this, the biggest joke I would say, and it's no disrespect, is to the white people. You had a lot of white people thinking that being racist and being this way towards these people and being was the right way. But now the same people that taught you that is being that way with you. I keep telling y'all, ain't no black man right now is in a position to fuck your life up. We see who's doing it. But I'm going to tell you who's really running the show is, put it together, is they running everything, bro. It's so to the point now, like I said, if that digital ID hit, it's over with. Because if you get out there speaking anything against what they're trying to push on us, because right now we're not fighting people, we are fighting the influence that people have. Let me say that again. We are not fighting people. We are fighting the influence that they have, meaning they've been influenced to think and believe, right, that what this says in the Bible you should do, or you should go work for this department even though you know this shit don't make sense, like ICE, the authorities. How could you go and apprehend someone that's trying to live and call yourself a godly person? I ain't gonna even say Christianity. I ain't gonna say a godly person. It doesn't make sense, because you're doing more so what man says than what God says, right? But we're all been fooled, right? Now look at what happened. Everybody woofing. The farmers are woofing. You know what I'm saying? School teachers, everybody's woofing, and all that blaming black people and this and that. You see that shit slowly kind of calming down, because as you see, black people ain't your problem. We've all been influenced by the devil. We've all been lied to, and we've all been placed in a position where we've been compromised on some level. But this shit's starting to come to a head. You can clearly see what is going on. All right? And this is a scary time right now. You got to remember, them bitches burnt California down. They burnt Hawaii down. They flooded Louisiana. Them people say they heard the bombs go off. It's people still to this day affected. And these same people at the top are the ones that's responsible for this shit. Now, there's some people on the lower level that's just so influenced that you might have to kill, you might have to do something to them. And no matter what color you are, I will blast your ass. Because you simply are influenced by what the world says or what the powers that be told you. And you just too far gone. Like, I don't have the time to try to unravel what you know and don't know. So you're going to get it. And it's not because I don't love you. It's because your influence will tell you to do something to me based off what you've been influenced or told or coerced to do. And if you think about what I'm saying, man, a lot of people just scrambled up here. I don't care if you've been to the military, you've been to college, you got all these accolades. You got to think all that shit is fake. All that is just heavy influenced. And it makes people think that they're, I ain't gonna say above other people, but it makes them feel as though they have more intelligence or they have more value in some sense. But when it all boils down, you just been influenced by people who know exactly what it was doing to you. And now by you thinking the way you thinking, because it didn't come from you. It didn't come from your mama. It came from the powers that be. You could compromise a person. So all we doing is running around with scrambled signals. Oh, go to the military, you know. And people will go thinking this is the American thing to do. Nah, bro, they just been pumping that shit in us in movies, and they come to the school and they recruit people who don't know what type of job careers they want, so they get them early. People go in there, make a mistake, they going in that shit, and it's like, bro, no disrespect, but I would never go fight a war that I don't know what the fuck going on. And we all know, bro. People done came from over there and told you a million stories. You think I'm finna my one only life? You think I'm finna put my one only life on the line for America? That whore? And I say that because that motherfucker done killed more people than I can imagine, like than I can even think of right now. We talking from the C-19, we talking diseases, we talking chemicals, we talking cancer, we talking, you name it. This is not God's doing, bro. This is greed of what man wants. And when you really get to the end, to the bottom of this shit, man, this shit coming from a higher power, bro. We talking like some alien shit. There's no way a small group of people had this much power over us. And the only thing they want is control. No, they planning for the next 200 and 300 years. This shit gonna be all robot. Meaning they gonna live forever. I told y'all, that's the whole plan. To do away with what God say, you know, ain't no more flesh. No, nigga, you're a robot. I told y'all, memories ain't nothing but flash shots of pictures. And they could take your consciousness, your soul, whatever you want to call it, download it, and put it in the avatar of a robot. And now you are indestructible. These people are trying to do away with God's plan. So you must understand how deep this rabbit hole goes. Of course, they're going to flood you with entertainment. Of course, they're going to flood you with sexuality. They're going to demonize that shit. They're going to use that. They're going to use everything they can to keep you busy. Jobs that steal your time. In exchange, you building their empires up. Do you realize you go to college, you learn a skill just to come back out here in the world and help the motherfuckers that's fucking over all of us help build their empire? And you got to pay for this shit. And if you don't know what I mean by that, go be a doctor. All you're going to do is give out the shit they tell you to give out. You're not going to be able to go and innovate some shit. You know how many people came up with cures? They came up missing or been silenced or bought out or however you want to say it. This shit ain't about that. This shit is about keeping you distracted, dumb, deaf, and blind, keeping y'all divided, and placing everything in front of us on the daily, because they know if we ever was to wake up, And I mean where's, if we ever where's to wake up, we talking word. These people getting along with these people. Those people coming together with those people. We can change this world. All that you read in the Bible, you could become that. But I'm trying to tell you, bro, you cannot look at this world and the things that you've been taught and think that that's the way shit go. That's a lie. This is a dream world. The world is a stage and you are the audience. And they're out for this. The knowledge they know, they'll never teach you that shit. And that's how they can use it against you in the name of scarcity. I told y'all, scarcity is a business. Ignorance is a business. They make billions of dollars off of that shit. And it's easy. If a small group of people knew this knowledge and knew why you think they have secret societies and rituals and all this shit, why? And I just be trying to like tell y'all, bro, first of all, do away with whatever you've been taught. Take what they taught you and know that that's not the way. But you can also use what they taught you. What I'm telling you is this. You have to unlearn and relearn everything. You think them birds chirping, they just birds chirping? No. Don't you know those birds that chirp sends off a certain frequency that helps plants grow? Nah, I ain't gonna tell you that. Don't you know that's like sunflower seed, like the sunflower plants? It moves as the sun moves. But now that they got all these GMOs and all this bullshit, they don't move no more. They used to move like this. As the sun moves, it moves. Why don't they tell you this? For one reason. Never educate the people you want to dominate. Money is fake, but the belief makes it real. You have to figure that out. And I always just say, like, fuck money, man. Money ain't it. But I had to say, you know what? When I read The Art of War, it taught me how to use things and everything to my advantage. All the influence that they done put behind money, get you some money and use it back. I always told y'all, if I had millions of dollars, don't you know I can pay people to come get this knowledge? Don't you know I can build shit and I can coerce people to come in and once you unbrainwash them, you starting a revolution. Politics never changed shit. Voting never changed shit. The only thing that ever changed something is violence. And that's all they know. Putting together think tanks. What is a think tank? A think tank is some of the most smartest strategic people in the world that comes together and build curriculums and plans to dominate people. These are strategies to make you get up and go to work without a bitch putting a gun to your head, and you do it faithfully. And you can't even understand why. The more we work, the less they work. We allow them to sit on their ass. And they built a system and they built belief systems. Another thing, a belief system. A man should work to the sweat of his brow. And they put it in the Bible. I tell y'all all the time, that's slave talk. God ain't put us here to work for them, motherfucker. If you ain't working for your tribe, as a whole, as a village, you don't supposed to be working. Do you know the most devilish shit these people do to us? As a people? Do you really realize the people, the motherfuckers you are going up against? And not only that, they've scrambled the signals of all of us. So it's like you're not only you're going against them at the top, you're going against everyday people. Could be your wife, husband, cousin, mama, whoever. They brainwash. They signal is scrambled. I'm trying to get you to understand this. So you don't get mad at them because they programmed. They believe shit that don't make sense. And when you start researching it and you start to understand, like I told y'all, once I understood understanding, I then understood that most people wouldn't understand. Once I understood understanding so that I can overstand, I then understood that most people wouldn't understand. They brainwashed, bro. Zombies. I'm trying to put this shit in a perspective where you can say to yourself, damn, you know what? It make a lot of sense. Because they're operating off what they've been told. Their reality has been handcrafted, scripted, and handed to them on a silver platter. And they're just acting out their script. Going to work, go to college, get a wife. You're doing everything the world told you to do so that you can stay in compliance. You don't question shit. Like, nigga, really think this how the world should be? How? You got people dying. You ain't got no money for that transplant, you die, even though money's fake. People know they giving us fucked up food, but they still do it. They define what is legal and illegal. A couple years ago, weed was illegal. People literally went to jail behind weed and probably still in jail. But somehow they say that shit, it's legal now. Born into a prison, homie. And only some people can wake up out of it. Only some people can comprehend what's going on. But you've been born in a prison. This is a soul trap. Harvesting. It's a prison. Saying how this is not what life's supposed to be. And it's crazy because you're gonna have people that won't experience true definition of life because they don't even have the resources to understand the comprehension. They don't have the money to experience what God put here for free for us all to have. That's why I say do away with the noise. Unlearn, relearn. Get around like-minded people. Keep studying. But most importantly, man, be true to yourself. Not nobody else. Everything is within. Because if you don't go within, you're going to go without. Listen, man, it's your boy Papa Duck. Y'all know when I do it, I do it. Drop your comments, man. You know what I'm saying? Also, if anybody on in my comments saying, I can help you with crypto and all this crap, call this number, that's not me. That's not me. Report that shit. But at the end of the day, man, I love y'all. We definitely got to understand what's going on. And like I say, man, when you look at these people, don't look at them as dumb people, stupid people, or they're ignorant, but it's not because of them. It's just they've been programmed to be that way. And you might think that we know better, but I promise you, once you come into full view understanding, you will understand that these people don't understand. They don't. You have to really look at it like this is a blank sheet of paper. Once you write what's on that paper and someone else is writing it, you only go by what's on that paper. You ain't wrote it. And a lot of people can't erase what's there and write their own script because of these social norms and all these different things that have been embedded in them. They don't even know that they're the author to their own book. And if you ain't careful, they'll do something to you based off the programming that they've received without them even knowing. Like, these people will do something to you. You came into the light. You born with this shit in your DNA. You ask why. Man, them people do something to you, man. Because they don't know no better, bro. You might think they do. They don't. Because there's a lot of things that are controlling us, bro, that I ain't even spoke about. I've spoke about it before. But like I say, once I understood what was really going on, once I understood what I understand, I then understood that most people ain't gonna understand. Like I told you, man, you are literally walking Wi-Fi and don't even know it. Nanotechnology, bro, you don't even know what that is. Which makes me question and say, what's the purpose of life if it's only gonna be controlled by a group of people that has a wicked agenda? It's your boy Papa Doc. I love y'all, man. Like I tell y'all all the time, in order for you to be found, you must first be lost. I get with y'all on the next one.